guys, it's Evan from I Am Gadget Man. I wanted to show you guys some differences between the iPad and the iPad 2. I'm sure you guys have already seen unboxing videos and other videos comparing the hardware, but I actually wanted to compare some of the software differences in the two systems. As you can see on the right hand side, this one is the iPad 1 and on this side is the iPad 2. Just gonna turn these screens on here. So let's just unlock these. Alrighty, so essentially these are identical in software. The only difference really is a couple, maybe one application's a little off, but plus the fact that the iPad 2 actually has photo booth and FaceTime, whereas the iPad 1 doesn't, because the iPad 2 has cameras and the iPad 1 doesn't. It's pretty straightforward there. What I wanted to do is load a couple games for you so you can see the difference, because obviously games take up more processing power than really anything else, with the exception, I guess, of a couple applications. But anyway, so let's go over to games, load those up. Okay, so moving through the UI is pretty much the same. I didn't really notice any difference as far as lag. Let's start with Epic Citadel. That's actually a really good test since it's a graphics sort of sampler to show the power, which is the original power of the iPad and the iPhone 4 with the Retina display. So I'm going to load Epic Citadel first. I have nothing running in the background, and just to check, I'm going to double tap. Okay, so I have settings running in the background. That's really not going to do anything. So here comes Epic Citadel 1, 2, and 3. So obviously iPad 2 loaded faster, and I'm already at start, so I'm hitting start. So you can see the iPad 2 is just chewing through this, while the iPad 1 is still, okay, there we go. So here you could notice some, certainly some frames per second on the iPad 2 versus the iPad 1. The iPad 2 is a lot faster in response as far as the graphics here. So we'll just start walking. But you can see it's almost like, you know, it takes less time. Whoa, it takes less, sorry about that. It takes less time to get someplace. And like looking around, it feels much more fluid. It's just faster. So that's a really good graphics example. As far as how it looks, since both of them have the 1024 by 768 display, you're really not going to notice much graphics as resolution is concerned. But there are games like Dead Space, who does have an update, but I haven't figured out how to get it to work, that allows the iPad 2 to really take advantage of the graphics processing power. I'm just going to shut that so you can hear me. So yeah, so you'll see games that really take advantage of the texturing engine versus the iPad 1. So it really won't be a resolution thing, but more of a texturing and how quickly it can load in the buffer, I'm sure, for how much memory it has for textures. Another game I'm going to load here is just not really a game, it's sort of just a stupid little thing, but it's called Hamburger. So I'm going to load Hamburger. 1, 2, 3. iPad 2. A lot faster. There's about 2 or 3 seconds there. Whoa. It's a little loud. So we're already loaded here. And we're in. So you can see that there is a big difference here, especially in this application. And this application's small too, it's only like 9 megs. So okay, so he okay, so I just shut him up. So basically, yeah, so this is really the experience here on this one. You just So yeah. So anyway, I'm just going to close that one up. Alrighty. Moving on. Okay, so Dead Space. Here's another example. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. So this is Dead Space HD. One thing you can't really see on this camera, but I did want to address, is a lot of people are complaining about light leakage on the iPad 2. Really, there was a little bit of concern because I do have some light leakage on my iPad. Oh boy. I'm going to just turn that down so I can talk to you. So, I do have light leakage on my iPad 2, and I was like, oh shoot, I guess that is a problem. And then I looked at my original iPad, and I have several iPads, so I was able to check more than the original iPad. But the original iPad actually had light leakage as well, and actually worse light leakage. So I really don't know if that's something that Apple can really change, and there are people who have been exchanging them and getting ones that are worse, so I'm just going to leave mine. Again, Dead Space, going back to just switching off a tangent here, Dead Space does have a texture engine upgrade for the iPad 2, but again, I have not yet figured out how to update it. It says just go update it, the Apple Store or the App Store, and I go to the App Store and there's no update, so it's a little aggravating. So EA, fix that. Again, you know, if this didn't have the loading animation, it would have been done faster, but I mean, it's obvious, you know, there's a similarity happening here, which is just common, that, you know, the iPad 2 is faster, as it should be. It has a A4, and this has the A4 chip, this is the A5 chip, which is the Apple built processor. This is a dual core, this is a single core. So, I mean, much like a computer, you add another core, you're going to get a lot faster, so it's kind of like no duh. I was a little disappointed in the cameras. They are a lower resolution than I anticipated, so that's a bit of a disappointment. Let's see if there's anything else you guys want to see. I think Epic Citadel was really a great sample of what the processing power can do as far as speed. We do have FaceTime, we do have Photo Booth. I'm sure you guys are aware of how those work. I did also want to share one other thing with you real quick. The iPad 2, I'm going to pick it up here. Oh my goodness. I have a case for it. I'm actually wanting to get the case, the spec case, but this is the Targus 360. Basically, if I can do this without knocking everything over. This has the ability to stand up like this, right? Oh, and it also has a wheel on the back that allows you to actually rotate and do it like that. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. My only concern is that the back here, there we go, is hard plastic, and if you push this really hard, you may dent and make a circle around the Apple logo, and that would suck. Word to the wise out there, guys, if you have iPads and you have the original iPad case, let me see if I have one here. Yes, I do. Of course I do. I'm Gadget Man. Come on. Here's the original iPad case. As you can see, there's no iPad in here because, do you see this right here? This marking? That is the little rubber clip that holds the lid of the iPad, right? When you guys want to make it stand up. Well, guess what? And I can confirm this because there's a lot of people I've talked to who do have the same problem. This, if you put this in a bag, don't drop it or anything, just put it anywhere where it can be pressed on, you're going to have a dent on your iPad the shape of that. I've seen some that are so bad that they actually look like this on the back, like you have the full shape. Mine was just dented a little bit, but still, this is bad. Like, Apple needs to be made aware of this by somebody. Maybe I'll just yell at them, but they don't know who I am. But that's a huge problem. So I would advise, if you guys have this case, you should take it out and take a look and feel it, see if you got a dent, because that's, you know, I had a dent, and I just called up Apple and they gave me a new iPad. So the new one is no longer in this case. The new one's actually in this this case I really like too, but they only make it for the iPad 1. This is the Yabo case. I think it's Yabo, that's how you pronounce it. Let's see here. So this one also allows you to do this, you know, to stand it up like this, and like that and like that. There's like 3 levels. However, this doesn't rotate at all. Like, it doesn't have a physical rotate. But I'm gonna just snap this back in so I can close it here. Oh, sorry, this really wasn't for a case thing, but this has nothing on the back. Like, I really like this a lot. It has this like nice little clip, and it's padded, and it looks very professional, and like it's the Yabo, whatever. There it is. Really good case. I highly recommend this one. The 360 was $60. Sorry, was $60 at Best Buy, so that's kind of pricey. But really, I absolutely needed a case because I didn't want this thing to get damaged. And that Apple Smart quote-unquote cover is ridiculous. It's just a cover. It's not a case. Your back would get all scratched up. Totally pissed me off. So. And unfortunately, right now the iPad 2 is so new that the manufacturers are racing to get their own versions out. So I know you don't want to see my mug, my face. So here are my hands. Hi, I'm Gadget Man. How you doing? Anyway, so thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Please send in your comments, questions, anything you need, and I'll be sure to answer them. And that's pretty much it. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.